There is a $10,000 mistake that thousands of truckers are making right now, tonight, parked at a rest area with a pistol in the sleeper, and almost none of them know they are doing it. Here's the part that should worry you. It is not the gun that costs you the 10 grand. It is one assumption almost every armed driver makes, and there is a rule behind it that nobody, not your recruiter, not your trainer, not the guy at the counter who sold you the pistol, ever bothers to explain. Get it wrong, and a firearm you legally own, that you have every right to own, can cost you your money, your CDL, and in the wrong state, your freedom. And the worst part is, you will not find out you were wrong until the cuffs are already on your wrists. So before you carry one more mile, let me show you the mistake and the rule nobody explains, so you are never the guy they make an example of. Let's kill the biggest myth first, because it is the one that sends drivers running in exactly the wrong direction. FENCSA, the federal agency that writes the trucking rules, does not ban firearms in a commercial truck. There is no federal trucking regulation that says a C-deal holder cannot carry. None. ADOT officer at a scale house is checking your brakes, your logs, and your load securement. He is not hunting through your cab for a pistol. And if you are legal where you sit, he does not care that you have one. So if the feds are not the threat, where does $10,000 come from? It comes from 3 places nobody warns you about: the state you are parked in, the way you stored the thing, and the company whose name is painted on your door. Miss any one of them, and the mistake is already made. And here's the trap in that. Because everyone is so worried about the dot cop finding their gun, they aim all their caution at the one guy who does not actually care, and walk straight into the 3 things that will end them. You are watching the wrong door. Here's the rule, and it is real federal law, so pay attention. There is a protection on the books that lets you transport a firearm across state lines, even through states with strict gun laws, but it comes with hard conditions. The gun has to be unloaded. It has to be locked away in a container. It has to be somewhere you cannot reach it from the seat. And, this is the part that matters, you have to be traveling, moving, going from one place where you are legal to another place where you are legal. That protection is built around the word transport. It protects the trip. It does not protect the stop. And that one word is where the $10,000 mistake lives. Because a trucker does not just pass through. A trucker stops. You shut down for your 10. You park for the night. You sit at a receiver for 8 hours waiting on a door. And here's what almost nobody understands. The moment you stop being in motion, you may stop being protected as someone just passing through, and you become subject to the full firearm law of whatever state you are sitting in at that hour, in that lot. A pistol that was completely legal at 60 miles an hour on the interstate can turn into an arrestable offense the second you set the brakes and close your eyes. Now here's the assumption that finishes the job, and I hear it from drivers constantly. My truck is my home. I live in here. I can keep whatever I want in my own house. I understand it completely. Some of you sleep in that bunk 300 nights a year. That truck is genuinely where you live. But here's what matters, and it is going to sting. In the eyes of the law, in the strict states, your sleeper is not a residence. The cab is a vehicle. That is it. All the miles, all the nights do not make it a house, and a court has never once agreed that a Freightliner is a home. So the idea that you can keep a loaded gun in the bunk, under the mattress, in reach, because it is your place, does not hold up where it counts. In a restrictive state, unloaded in the sleeper is not good enough. In reach is not good enough. And your gut feeling that this is your home carries exactly 0 legal weight when a state trooper is standing at your door. Picture how this actually happens, because it is never dramatic, it is boring, and that is what makes it so dangerous. A driver is legal at home, permit in his wallet, pistol he bought at a real store, everything by the book. He runs a load northeast, gets tired, and does the responsible thing. He pulls into a lot in a strict state and shuts down for his 10 instead of pushing on. Sometime that night, there is a knock, a fender bender in the lot, an alarm, a welfare check, it does not matter what. An officer ends up at his door, sees the case, asks the question, and now this careful, legal, responsible man is being read his rights in a state that does not recognize his permit and does not care that he was legal 400 miles ago. He did not do anything reckless. He parked. That is the whole crime. He stopped moving in the wrong state. To be fair, and I want to be honest with you here, in most of the country, this is a non-issue. In the permissive states, and there are a lot of them, you are fine. An illegal carry stays a legal carry. But your route does not care about the friendly state. Your route is a line drawn through all of them, the strict ones too, and you only have to be wrong in one. That is the mistake. Not owning a gun, not carrying a gun, treating your truck like a rolling piece of your living room that floats above the law of the state it is parked in. It does not. Even drivers who know all that still get caught on the storage, so let me be specific about what the strict states actually want. The standard, over and over, is 3 things at once: unloaded, locked in a real container, not a glove box, not a center console, an actual actual locked case. And out of reach, meaning you cannot grab it from where you sit. A loaded pistol under your seat fails all three. A gun in the door pocket fails all three. And here's the cruel irony that every armed driver has to wrestle with. The whole reason you carry is so you can reach it fast when something goes wrong at 2 in the morning. But the way the law wants it stored, unloaded, and locked in the back is the exact opposite of ready. Nobody is going to solve that tension for you in a YouTube video, and I am not going to pretend there is a clean answer, because there is not one. But you need to understand the trade you are making with every mile, because getting it wrong is not the difference between a warning and a ticket. It is the difference between a legal firearm and a felony, between going home and going to a cell. And there are 3 more landmines that turn a legal gun into a nightmare, fast, 1, restricted zone. The second you roll onto a military base, a port, or a federal facility, a lot of them do not allow firearms at all, and you do not get to plead that you did not know. If your load takes you through a gate like that, your firearm situation has to be squared away before you ever approach it. 2. The border. Cross into Canada or Mexico with a firearm and the wrong paperwork, or no paperwork, and you are not looking at a ticket, you are looking at a foreign jail cell and the kind of legal bill that gives this video its title. Drivers get arrested for this every year, and no amount of I forgot gets you out of it. And 3, the one that stings the most, your own company. MCSA does not ban your gun, but your carrier absolutely can. And many of the biggest names in trucking have a flat, zero tolerance, no firearms policy in their truck. Get caught with one, even a perfectly legal one, and it is not a fine. It is your job, gone, on the spot, because it was a condition of employment you signed on day 1 and probably never read. You can be completely legal with the state and the feds and still be unemployed by Friday. And there is no unemployment office that pays out when you got fired for breaking a policy you agreed to. Now, to be fair, plenty of drivers do not like that one bit, and I get it. Your safety should come first, but the company owns the truck and they get to make that call, so the only real move is to know their rule before you take the job, not after they find the gun. So here is how you carry without handing anyone that $10,000. 1. Store it the strict way by default. Every day in every state, unloaded, locked in a real case, out of reach. Because if you always meet the strictest standard, you are never surprised by a state line. 2. Check the law for every state you stop in, not just the ones you pass through, and check reciprocity before you leave, because where you park is what matters, not where you started. 3. Actually read your company handbook. I know you do not want to, but it is the difference between keeping your gun and keeping your job, and sometimes you cannot keep both. 4. Keep every piece of paper on you, your permit, your license, your training, all of it, so you are never scrambling to prove you are legal. And 5. Avoid the sensitive areas, the bases, the ports, the federal facilities, whenever your load gives you the choice. Do those 5 things and the gun stays what it is supposed to be, protection, instead of the most expensive mistake of your career. And one honest thing, because it matters. I am not a lawyer. Gun laws change, and they are different in every single state. And this video is a starting point, not a legal opinion. Before you carry 1 mile, check the current law for yourself, for every state on your route. Do not bet your freedom on a stranger on the internet, mine included. So here's the bottom line. The thing the title has been pointing at the whole time. The $10,000 mistake was never the gun. It was the assumption. The assumption that the truck is your home, that passing through covers you when you park, that a legal carry back in Texas is still a legal carry in the lot you shut down in tonight. It isn't. And the rule nobody explains is that the law changes the instant you stop moving. Understand that one thing, and you can protect yourself and your career at the same time. Miss it, and a gun you had every right to own becomes the reason you lose everything. Now I want to hear from you, and be honest. Do you carry in your truck, and when a DOT officer walks up, do you tell him right away, or do you keep it to yourself? Drop your state in the comments and whether they treat drivers right on this, because somebody running through there next week needs to know before they park. And if this kept even one of you out of a jail cell or an unemployment line, subscribe. It is free, and it is a whole lot cheaper than 10 grand and a court date. Until next time, keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up, and know the law of the ground you are parked on, not just the road you drove in on.